Good evening, everybody. Hope you can hear us nice and clearly this evening. Welcome back to Ads, who had a fortnight off. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Hey, I've still got music coming through with the sound. I don't know if that's... Yeah, it's dying out now. G'day, mate. How you going?
Very well, buddy. Very well indeed. What about yourself? You had a fortnight 2 weeks ago. You had the night off from broadcasting. So, mate, welcome back. You're an important part of the broadcast team, mate. So, looking forward to tonight's events. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, good. Oh, man. I mean, I'm getting a replay of exactly what we're saying coming through.
I'm not sure where that's coming from, mate. It may be coming via Discord. Andrelli's can hear us both clear.
Yep. Well, everything that we're saying, I'm getting about 10 seconds later again. Anyway, we'll try and persist with that. That will be a bit painful. But g'day. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, had a fortnight off. Unfortunately, had work commitments, so needed to do that, unfortunately. But awesome effort by yourself, mate, to do that by yourself a fortnight ago. So, good work.
A few stumbles and trips along the way, mate, but we'll forget about that. That's in the past now. So, we've got a obviously got a good race coming up tonight. Mate. Yep. So what we might do is we might have a bit of a look at the results. So the last race in Suzuka, the finishing order in that race was a great job and a solid win by Kraken, who won that race, obviously, followed by Scotty Pye. That was a tremendous race from him. So it was great to watch Scotty in P2. Rain of Fire had a bit of an up and down race, but managed to just get past Simon on the last lap to pick P3. So that was our podium last week. So looking forward to another good event and solid racing tonight from the guys. Our current series points for the AM room is Simon, who's sitting on 68, Christoph on 67, Shamrock on 64, Scotty Pye tied on 64, Sparky on 60, Team Little Bear 56, Rain of Fire. He's had a couple of didn't get the results that he wanted on 49, the Kraken on 48, Zero 36, Psycho 35, and Stozzer on 35, Familiar on 18, White Shadow on 17, and Cermic Squid and Andy unfortunately haven't turned up to race just yet. So it's
he's
pretty tight at the top.
Other commitments. Yeah, no, it is, mate. And I've just worked out what the feedback was. I actually had YouTube on this laptop going, so that's why I was hearing everything twice. So apologies to the viewers. We've got one person watching, so that's good. It's definitely tight at the top. We've got some pretty strong contenders up there that would easily be knocking on the door of Tier 1. We saw that last week at Suzuka in the wet round there, where we had a Tier 2 driver take out the winning position for that race. So that's a really good effort by Kraken, and I have no doubts that there will be some eager eyes on him to see him come up through the ranks and he can put a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons with some of the other competitors in Tier 1.
Absolutely, mate. Totally agree with that. He had amazing 2 races. Obviously raced in the AM room and then backed it up again in the Pro Am room and did a stellar job. Last week. So really good, great effort from him. we might just have a bit of an overview of the teams championship ads as to where we currently sit at the end of round 3.
Yeah, well, I might close my eyes for this, mate, if that's okay.
Well, I'm closing mine too, mate, because I'm just on the slippery slide to the bottom, mate. I'm chasing you to get to the wooden spoon. Have a look at us. Not real crash up, but
look, it's, in all honesty, you know, no, it's not. But you know, it is what it is. We've discussed before, mate. We've had some, like you tonight. You know, you've had another one pull out, so it's just unfortunately not everyone can come every week and race, and that's just the nature. And you know, there's sometimes there's more important things in life that go on that take over. So.
Well, look, totally agree, mate. You know, had White Shadow.
We understand that, but it certainly reflects, doesn't it?
It does, buddy. It does. You know, I had White Shadow shoot me a message. He's got a sick family at home and has to take care of them. And then sort of last minute, you know, Shamrock has had to pull the pin to deal with some family issues. But as we say, mate, it's you know, family first all the way here. So yeah. So look, we'll get on with, you know, tonight's event.
Absolutely.
Hope everything goes all right for those boys that, you know, couldn't make it. And yeah, we'll get on with the rest of the proceedings. So tonight's event is obviously a 60-minute race, mandatory tyre stop. Fuel can be taken. You know, it's a bit of a tricky track. This one, I don't know what your thoughts are, Ads. We'll be having a look at your hot lap shortly. But just give us your thoughts on this, you know, short, sharp circuit.
Yeah, so you're right about it being tricky, and you're definitely correct about it being sharp. So, you know, one of the things that you don't get here is much time to actually think and process the lap. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of fast flowing corners. There's, you know, some tricky corners through, you know, turn 4, for instance, can be brutal. And if you get a little bit wrong, you know, track limits as always comes into play there as well. You've got the chicane there, turn 7 and 6. And then, you know, even the corners, turn 9 and turn 10, you know, whilst you think it's all looks pretty simple, but you know, the trick to those corners is getting a good setup to corner entry to get a really good exit, for, you know, keep that momentum of speed going. So yeah, like I said though, you know, you don't get much time to give the brain a bit of a rest. The only sort of time you do get is the pitch straight, but I've fallen victim to this as well, is, you know, lack of concentration. You can easily miss your braking marker there and overshoot. Turn 1 hairpin, and we saw that in the GT4 race a couple of weeks ago. You know, people were going way past the braking marker and off into the fence. But yeah, I wish the guys good luck tonight for the 60 minutes. So certainly, I'm sure that they'll feel it by the end of it. But it should be good.
Absolutely, mate. What we might do is jump on board, mate, for your hot lap of the Hungoraring. So sit back and enjoy.
Good.
G'day guys, here we are again. Round 4, we're at Hungoraring. 4.3 kilometres long, consisting of 14 corners. Lap record around here in the GT3 is 142.9, held by Fabian Schiller in the 2020 AMG. So we'll make it way down the pit straight. Coming into the hairpin here, we're going to brake just before the 100 metre board. Hard on the brakes, trail brake in. We're going to take it out nice and wide just to gain as much time as we possibly can. Make our way down to turn 2, brake just to the curbing. Then to drop it down in first gear. It's a double apex this corner. We're straighten up as soon as we can. Quick shift up in a second. Try and miss that curbing if you can, and we'll launch the cars. We'll make our way up the hill. Brake just to the curbing here. We're going to cut across this section. Power back through. Back down a second to sweeping corner. Again, take it out wide. So we come into this tricky little chicane. You want to stay up the curbing if you can. It will unsettle the car and launch you into the fence. Make our way down to turn 9. Keep it in nice and close to the left side so we can get good entry into this corner. A little bit oversteering. Flat out through here. Drop it back down to third again. And watch out for track limits in a race. It's a good spot to accumulate those as we come into this tricky complex of 3 corners. Again, take it out nice and wide. We're going to brake just under the bridge. Back down to first gear. Just be patient, let the front end grip up. Turn 14, back onto the pit straight. Oh, just got a little bit oversteering again, but bounce across the start finish line. Good luck to those racing tonight. We'll see you on track, guys.
Well, that was a hot lap with ads. Not a bad one. Made a couple of mistakes there along the way, but it's still a very, very quick time. Let's hope you can reproduce that next Tuesday night, mate. You should be in for a good one. So just having a bit of a look at the end of practice with 4.5 minutes left to go. We've got Rain of Fire, currently fastest on a 144.8. We've got Simon in P2, half a second back. And Stozza, great job by him. Up there, only 0.6 back from Rain of Fire. Azuro as well. What a turn up for the books that is. In the M6 BMW, that is a fantastic effort. Cracking there. Just a smidgen over a second back. Scotty Pye in 6, 1.1. Sir McSquid 1.4. Jesus, not a lot in it. Team Little Bear and Sparky God. I'd say Sparky's possibly had a few possible issues. Because I wouldn't have thought that Sparky would have been that far down. Let's just have a quick look and jump on board with him for the run. And see what he can put together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not real sure how what the Bentley's like here. Traditionally, we've seen the Bentley be further up the field in some of the other tracks, but we do know that some of the tracks are suited to different makes of vehicles, so it looks probably a little bit unsettled coming out of turn 2 there. A little bit taily. We'll just see how he goes through this section. So he's just only touched. He's probably not taken enough of that curbing to really capitalise on, you know, having a quick time through there. But yeah, so far it looks not too bad. He might also be sandbagging too, mate. So there's every chance that come to qualifying and he'll put it up in the top 5, I reckon.
Yeah, quite possible. Well, obviously he's 1.1 seconds up now in his lap currently. So 1.2, 1.3. So he's not as far off the pace as obviously his time there showed. So 0.5, there we go, bringing it in a little bit and gaining a bit more time. I think you're pretty much on the money, mate. Look at this, that'll move him up a fair way. P7, there you go.
Yeah, so he's definitely in the hunt, that's for sure.
Well and truly.
All right, mate. What I might do is, just while we've got a couple minutes to go,
yeah,
I might
we'll just take a quick break, mate, and we'll be back with the starter quali.
All right, sounds good.
Well, the end of that definitely changed, didn't it, Ads? End of practice.
Yeah. Stozza was it 6/100ths of a second behind? Was it Rain of Fire that was up there in P1?
Absolutely. That's really good to see.
Yeah, no, it is, mate. It's we've been doing a little bit of work with Stoz too. So Stoz has come over from Project Cars 2 and still getting his head around the game and around Discord and whatnot. But he's been putting in some extra time for practice, and it certainly shows. And I really hope that he has a really good race tonight. Yeah, he deserves it because his commitment to doing well is definitely there, 150%. But if anyone's raced with Stozza before, they'll know that he's a pretty good driver. He has actually come from being in Div 1 for Project Cars 2, so he certainly knows his way around a racetrack, that's for sure. But as we all know, it's a difficult beast to get hold of, this game or this simulation. But yeah, I hope that he does well, and I hope that he can put a bit of pressure on Rain of Fire to perform well tonight, and hopefully they both have a good race if that's how it falls.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, totally agree, mate. It is a different beast. I know when I very first came across to ACC, it just felt like, I can't drive this thing. But it's the closest thing on console, that not just console but PC as well, that I believe that you'll get to a true racing simulator.
Yeah. Well, I know that at the end of a 60-minute race, like, I'm seriously knackered. The sweat's there, and I've got the fans going in the room, and you drive to work the next day, and my arms are sore. So it's definitely not a driving Miss Daisy type race. You're definitely on it. As we're on Rain of Fire, and he's just on his first hot lap now, so it would be interesting to see if we just stick with him. I reckon came in and just have a look at his style of driving here. He's in the Ferrari. He's just touched that curve in there, just not enough really to do anything to the car, which is good. Oh, and he's cutting right across that bit of curbing, which is perfect. Just allows you to straighten the car up a bit quicker and put your foot down and get a bit more of a drive out of that corner. But he's definitely going out wide on all the corners, and he should stay. Yep, he's inside the orange markers there, so that's really good as well. Now I'm just sizing him up too, mate, because I have no doubt he'll be in Tier 1 next season. So definitely looking to see where his strengths and weaknesses are if he's going to be competing against us. And he must be so close to track limits. I reckon he's had a few clunky moments there as well, but so far it's pretty good this lap. So he's kept it in nice and tight there. Turn 13 coming up to turn 14. It's out wide again. He's got a little bit of looks like it's got a little bit of oscillating in this front suspension, so I'm just wondering if he's got it dialed down too much on the dampeners. But it certainly looks like it's bouncing. If you have a quick look through this hairpin, it just seems to be, it has a bounce and it continues to bounce.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you, mate. There just seems to be a little bit too much movement in that front end, up and down. So.
Well, whatever it is, it's doing him good so far. He's in P1 with a 45.1, so we'll certainly see those times come down, I think, as we go along.
Now let's have a look and see where the rest of the crew are currently running at. Okay, so we've got Psycho.
So everyone's out on track.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Stozza. Let's jump on board with Stozza, eh?
Looks like there's all good spacing between all the drivers as well. So we've got 12 guys on track. Been pretty consistent with the numbers that we've had so far this season, which is, we'd love to have more, obviously, but from what we've seen from the past few races, it's been some pretty good racing actually, and Really good that, you know, even from the start to the finish, we've seen some really good starts from the guys. We've seen some really good close battles, and we've seen some really clean racing. So, you know, they certainly set a high standard, that's for sure. Yeah, it looks like that everyone's cycling through now. We've still got 3 guys to put down some times. Stozza, who was high up there in the practice, he'll certainly be keen to put down a good time.
Yeah, get that banker, and look, I'd agree
Scotty
with you.
Pye still needs to put down a time too, mate. So
Yep.
hopefully, I'm sure he'll be up there too.
Oh, Stozza's he's a bit out of shape. Spoke too soon.
He's looking a bit unsettled.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like sometimes, you know, and we discussed this before, but, you know, when you do your practice laps and everything's going well, and then you get to qualifying and you get the pressure added, and it yeah, changes the whole mental factor, and you start to miss turning points and braking points and making little mistakes, and then you start to look at the time and how much time's left, and it could be quite frustrating actually. But he's still got 8 minutes to go, so he's still got some time to bank a good lap in there.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. You know, the thing you were talking about earlier, you know, we've got 12 in there tonight. You know, for old SAR, we've got just one, Scotty representing. So we could have had 14 in this room tonight. And look, I'm not too sure about White Shadow, but I do know that Shamrock was in the 44s in the Bentley. So it could have been, you know, again, another absolute, you know, I'm not saying that it's not going to be a cracking event, but, you know, to have us up to, you know, 14 there for the race would have been great to see, that's for sure. And worth mentioning, mate, Azuro in the M6 P3.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, is that the older model, or is that the
Absolutely.
the new model?
That's the old model. The new model's not available in PS4.
Oh, isn't it?
So mate, he's got this thing, you know, it's taken him a few races, and I think we mentioned it back in round 1 or round 2 that, you know, we wished him the best of luck, you know, driving this beastie around. But geez, he's coming to grips with it well.
Yeah, look, the BMW's a quick car. Like, there's no doubts about that. I think it was season 2, Team BHR were allocated that particular M6 BMW, and it's definitely fast. Like Jamie proved that as well, and you know, we had some quick times around Bathurst, I recall, and Mazzano and whatnot. But it's horrible for understeer. Like, it's just terrible. But yeah, look, if Azura's got that dialed in, that's a really good effort from him. And it's an awesome sounding car too. Like, honestly, it's a nice
brilliant.
big car. Yeah, it is. The other thing that I like about it too, mate, is the aesthetics of the in-car view. So with the dashboard and everything like that. I'm pretty picky with stuff like that, so I hate jumping into a car. That's it. It's nice and, you know, simple. It's got a good windscreen that you can look through.
Apologies,
nothing
there.
real there.
Sick. There we go.
Nothing there that's sort of in your way. It's got a nice, you know, you've got your race logic digital setup there just on the right of the main screen there that he's looking at on his dashboard. Where you look at most cars, that race logic is way off to the right or to the left if you're in the Bentley. But it's just a nice, clean interior. And there's one car there, I can't remember which one it is, but it's got like a tan, browny coloured dashboard. It looks horrible, but yeah, he's doing alright though. He's got it up in a 3rd position, which is a really good effort.
Oh.
Well, he's just lost it on the grass
and
there.
Commentator's curse. Ads, well done.
Sorry, mate. Again.
It is true, though, isn't it?
I think so.
Let's have a look at Kraken. You know, obviously, winner of Tier 2 PS4 at Suzuka and Tier 1 PS4 at Suzuka.
Yeah, so I think my theory on this is solid driver, absolutely, but the AMG was suited to Suzuka last round in the Tier 1 race there in the wet, and obviously in the Tier 2. Wow, what a slippery race that was. You know, there's a few guys that actually did really well, and just commented before on Andrelli, so Andrelli finished up on the podium and done a really good job. So, you know, there's definitely stepping up for his team captain, that's for sure. And probably if anything, I reckon Andrelli's probably in a handful of guys that's actually most improved this season, doing really well. So, you know, there's nothing better than going out and putting down nice quick times through qualifying and then having a really good result in a race. You know, you can walk away from those races, you know, go and tell your partner or tell your kids or whatever it is, and it's always, or tell your granny or your nana that's sitting on the couch watching you on YouTube, watching the stream, eating a box of popcorn. I have no doubts, but yeah, it's awesome to be able to come away from that with a really good race result. But yeah, those guys, team I tell you, certainly stepped up this season, and it sounds like Baradog's got his team working very well, and got them all in line. So that's good for those guys.
Yeah, just an unfortunate track cut there for Kraken. Right towards the end of the lap. So we've currently got Rain of Fire on a 44.7. Simon just over the 45 flat. Psycho Stozzer in P4.
So what have we got? 2 minutes.
Yeah. Over jump on board with Simon, again another front runner in this division. See what he can do.
One of the things that I've noticed with Simon this season is, you know, he every race that I've seen, his car has been unscratched. So, you know, he's driven around from start to finish with a tidy car, which just tells me that he's a very consistent driver. Quite achiever actually. He doesn't say too much, but he definitely gets in there and has a go. And to be up in P2 at the moment is a really good effort from him, so I'm pretty proud that he's up in that spot. He certainly deserves it. But he's probably going to have one more opportunity to try and put down a quick time. He's a little bit behind here, but he's just only second gear there, turn 13. Or maybe the AMG's geared like that, but I thought he may have just dropped it back down to first and shifted it back up to second on the corner exit. But I guess it comes down to what suits them the most, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're concerned, you know, probably sometimes if you're running a little bit of, you know, I'd be a bit like yourself. Adds, you know, getting it down a gear to get the power down and use the true torque of the engine. You know, but if you're struggling, that's probably where you should look at maybe increasing your TC in your setup. You know, just go up a click. You know, which will allow you to drop down to that lower gear and get a bit better drive out of the corner.
Yeah, well, the other thing with that too is, especially around this track, is run higher diff preload. Just to help rotate the car. So that corner that Simon just went through there, turn 4, you know, where you hug the curbing, if you get on the power, literally at the moment of hitting that curb, the diff will actually turn the car around under its own power, which helps straighten the car up to get that driveline speed out. But it's mastering that, and it's also knowing that, you know, when you go back to the pits to make that adjustment, that's what's going to work.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But good effort from him so far.
He was up, just down slightly. He's you know, Yeah, okay, he's
Well,
crept it
right
back up
on it.
again. He's, yep. Can he hold it, is the question.
Yeah, not sure, but he's looks like he's probably went into turn 12 a little bit too deep, which is why he gained a little bit of time there in the green, but he's
Yeah,
through
dropped
late
away on
apex
him.
this corner. Yeah, that's okay. It's I don't think he's going to, but solid effort. I mean, 3/10 behind, nearly 4/10.
Absolutely.
Kraken's down in P7. Yeah, I thought I might have
Sparky
seen
into
him up there.
P6.
Yeah, so that's a good effort by Sparky. And Kraken P7 still. So that's how it falls. So Rain of Fire, pole position. So that's a really good effort. 44.7 with the lap time. You got Simon in behind him in P2, 3/10, and then you've got Psycho in the Bentley. So that's the highest performing Bentley in this list of drivers. 0.5 behind. And then Stoza, Azuro, so good effort from him in the BMW M6. Sparky, and Kraken and Christo. Scotty Pye in the Ferrari. And Thermic Squid in the Audi. So I know Gaz is driving the Audi around here tonight too in the PS5, and he's struggling as well. So maybe the Audi's not suited to this track, but Familiar, GTR in P11, and Team Little Bear in P12, and in the Honda for P&L. So one of the better looking liveries that we have running around this track and this series in the Tier 2 is Team Little Bear. Very consistent with his and definitely shows his love of the Honda. So PS5, we've just got a note through the comments from Andrelli. So Paul goes to Slambo. Then we've got Kawea, Jamie, Vic, and then Burra. So there you go. Definitely top four. Slambo, Kawea, Jamie, and Vic are all 4 aliens. And then Burra is probably the only normal one out of those 5. So, and when I say normal is what we are, and I'm very happy to be normal. Not sure what an alien would feel like actually driving around these tracks. There's a fair bit of pressure, but that's a good effort from those guys. So well done.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting if Vangelis obviously is listening. Give us the poll time. Because I know I had a quick call from Aaron, who's been having some internet issues that in practice. He was P2 right at the end of practice behind Slambo, but he has chosen not to qualify and to start from the rear of the grid because he didn't want to get, if his internet played up near the front, he didn't want to cause a drama. So
Okay.
it'd be just interested to see, what sort of times they were doing. I know he punched out I think it was a 40, I can't remember now, 44-1.
Yep.
So,
Well, I reckon I haven't seen it, and I've got no idea. But I reckon I would have put money on one of those guys being a 43.
I'd agree.
I reckon a mid 43, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And Lambo's in the BMW N4 as well. So you got Guerra in the Porsche. There you go, 43.4. So I was on the money.
There you go. Wow.
Jamie, so this is the interesting thing. So Jamie and Vic have both chosen cars that. So Vic's in the Jag, and Jamie is in the Honda. So they've both purposely chosen cars this season that are seen to be not the best performing cars, and those guys
Difficult.
Yeah, are still able to put it up in the pointy end of the qualifying list. So that's a really good effort by those guys. So
Yep.
good luck to the guys racing in PS5 tonight. I don't know how many's on track, but hopefully there's a fair few. But Our attention is now with the PS4 Tier 2 race, and we've got 45 seconds to clock count down before race start. These guys are going to cycle around on a formation lap, which will give them an opportunity to warm up their tyres. And not sure what current track temperature is at the moment, but it certainly should be a good race.
Who's your money on, Ads? who's your money on for tonight's race?
That's a really good question, actually. I'm going to pick this person, but not because he's in Team BHR, but I'm going to pick Simon. I just feel like he's been knocking on the door of a really good finishing position. And because he is consistent with his driving, I just feel like this particular track here, you know, you can catch you out, get your track limits violations, or, you know, you catch a curb wrong, you know, and all of a sudden your car's turn around. But I'm going to put my money on Simon tonight to be up there. But look, it could be a handful of either of these guys in the top 5. I think Rain of Fire is going to definitely drive off there at the start. But I just know from first hand with a Ferrari, if you get it a little bit wrong or you hit a bump, especially through that chicane, it's lights out. So yeah, it's like you know, walking on ice. You've got to tread very, very carefully. What about you, mate?
Mate, look, I'm not necessarily, you know, going to look to pick the winner tonight, but I'm actually gonna have a couple of bucks on Stozza to make the podium.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, I think that I reckon I would like that result, actually.
Well, of course you would, because there's lots of green cars up there at the pointy end, isn't it?
Well, there's only 2.
No, there's a third one down the back, isn't there? Did I see another green car?
Oh, somewhere further down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Andrew has just put Psycho down for the win. And you know what? And there's every chance that he could as well. I mean, the Bentley through here just rides curbs like it just eats them up. So yeah, it will certainly be interesting. But and drive-throughs, Andrew is going for 4 drive-throughs. I reckon I might go for 2. Unfortunately,
I'm going to go in the middle of the pair of you, and I'm going to take 3 drive-throughs.
Yeah. I don't wish that upon anyone with drive-throughs. It's a bloody nightmare. I don't know. I've driven 50 minutes in a race with 3 warnings, straight ups, and it's not a very comfortable situation to be in.
No, it's not.
No.
But here we come, round the last corner.
They're going a bit quick.
Well, they've all backing it up.
Yep.
There we go. Good job.
So the race has been initiated. Race director's on board. Green lights on. Here we go. It's a drag race down to turn 1. Rain of Fire is already going defensive on Psycho there. Oh, he has slipped up the inside. Wow, that was a brave move. Good observational spatial awareness actually by Rain of Fire there to see how that was going to play out. But Psycho's got the inside line here on Rain of Fire. If I was Rain of Fire right now, I'd probably just tuck in behind Psycho and just enjoy the ride and get a bit of a tow. And we've got Sparky up in P3.
There's a bit going on here.
Well, there sure is, and unfortunately Simon's been the victim of Psycho coming through on Rain of Fire then, when he's taken evasive action and tried to make sure that he kept out of the way, but that's okay. It's 60 minutes. It's a long race. Yeah, thanks Andrelli for answering that question for Aidan there, mate. It's it's unfortunate that that happened for GT7, but hopefully they get that sorted out. It's a little bit like us with the PS5 version where, you know, glitches, broadcasting doesn't work. So, you know, a little bit of time there to get it sorted out, which is one of the reasons why we've gone back to the PS4 with the streaming and the commentating. But so that's a nice first lap by these guys. Psycho in P1. We'll just see what sort of top end speed Rain of Fire's got going down here on the pitch straight. He will get a little bit of a tow, but Psycho's definitely holding his own, which is good. Simon's dropped right back to P6 by the looks of it, maybe.
P12, Simon.
12.
And, yeah, so we're not doing well, mate, because Stoz is in P10.
Yeah, well, something must have happened there. Hopefully those guys have taken a replay of this first lap. Yeah, oh, that's disappointing. So, all right, well, Rain of Fire, it looks like he's definitely got this car dialed in. It's good to see that we've got a couple of different models up in the top 4. And that Ferrari, I tell you, it just doesn't look comfortable. Okay, see how it just bounces through on the curbing there?
And there's the sign of it there. So if he takes the curbing wrong, he's getting, you know, follow-on bounce in the front end after the corner.
So that's that oscillation from the suspension. And he's gone out wide there and tried to quickly duck into it. I reckon there would be his first track warning. Oh, that was close. So Sparky got nearly into the rear end of him. If Bounty's not racing in the PS5, I don't think, but hopefully he's watching, or he'll catch the stream later. But he'll be definitely cheering on Sparky to do a good job here.
Scotty Pye in the pits, mate. He's been in there for a long time.
Well, there you go.
Time.
I reckon there must have been an accident. Lap 1. So lap 1 incident, I would say. If he's sustained enough damage to warrant going into the pits and doing a repair and doing his pit stop, just means that he needs to run around the racetrack 56 minutes on one set of tyres.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
well, he's actually lost a lap due to it. So
okay. Must have had a lot of damage.
Yep.
Yeah. So Simon in P11, Stozzer in P10. So just hoping that those guys didn't have a coming together with Scotty Pye, but yeah, that's disappointing.
Lucky I'm not a real betting man.
Well, that's why I've got no money left in my sports bet account, mate. Doesn't work. I always try and go for the one that with the highest odds in the thinking that I might get Do you remember that Melbourne Cup winner with Michelle Payne?
Yes.
When she rode that, so she was 100 to 1 to win that.
Yep.
So yeah, just imagine putting $1,000 down on that one.
Yeah, would have been nice.
Yeah. So I always think that this could be my Michelle Payne race, but it's not. Not to be.
Let's just have a look. See what lap times are. So we're in the sort of 46 flats at the minute.
Yep.
Let's see whether we can see down the back down here what sort of lap times these guys are doing. 46.5 from Simon. What are we doing with Stoz down the back down here? Yeah, 47. So maybe he's carrying damage.
Yeah, he could be. I know. Who's that corner around? That's Sparky, is it? I reckon that was Sparky. No, Sparky's still in there. Who was that?
Christoph.
Bugger. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Inti, it is, yeah, go Psycho, absolutely, mate. It is hard to pass in Sector 2, but it's actually hard to pass anywhere, to be honest. But passing opportunities are definitely at the hairpin at turn 1. And the other one is turn 12, coming into turn 12. If you get a good exit out of turn 11, you can just get down on the inside of someone and throw it in there under the brakes. So that's pretty much your passing opportunities. Anywhere else, as a legitimate pass, it's yeah, it's very, very difficult. You're sort of relying on people making mistakes, but I reckon, what are we, 53 minutes to go, 3 laps. I reckon that there would already be a few guys with track limit violations. Just watching Team Little Bear there going out a little bit wide. I didn't notice that he'd come off the gas.
Kraken's got Sparky.
Yeah.
Now out after Rain of Fire and Psycho.
Yep. So he's in the AMG. So I reckon the AMG is a little bit more suited to this track as well. Just the fast flowing corners that seem to be very long. He's keeping it in tight there. It's interesting there too.
Oh, Sparky's.
What's happened to Sparky, God? He's just pulled off. I wonder if he's having technical issues with his rig. That's really odd.
I wonder if he's hit a button.
I don't know.
Killed the motor, possibly.
Well, it just sort of seemed to happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
So he was in behind Kraken there and just... Wow.
Very strange.
Well, I hope that that's not the case for him. But we saw that last week with Footner at the Suzuka race.
Yep.
I think he was coming second, and he had a every time he pushed a button, I think for something, it pushed the PlayStation, it registered the PlayStation button, which made his wheel basically turn off.
Well, that's not real handy on a racing simulator, is it? Let alone any type of game, but
nah, definitely not, mate. But the worst part is too, you know, you put practice in, you put time and effort in, and then that sort of stuff happens. And well, we don't see these guys physically, but I have no doubt he's probably hitting something. So, or got the shits, but and rightly so too. It's a bugger of thing to occur. But has he gotten going again? Do we know, or is he just?
Yeah, he's going.
Oh, that's good.
Had to reset rig due to the love tap I copped.
Okay.
And that's the comment from Sparky.
I don't know what that means.
No, me either.
Maybe he got a hit in the back of the head by his wife.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Okay, let's look at these gaps. You're right, Rain of Fire is absolutely applying the pressure now to Psycho.
Yeah, so he's all over him like a rash at the moment.
Yep.
Just sitting in there, but I reckon he's going to struggle. The only way that I reckon you'll get past Psycho is if Psycho actually makes a mistake on track. But that Ferrari just looks unsettled to me. But maybe that's the way that he likes to drive that beast around here at Hungoraring. Scotty Pye will watch this back later on, and I have no doubt she'll correct me for my pronunciation of the name of the track, which he does every other time that we're here.
Yeah.
He's going to get a runner in here too. Hungoraring, that's it.
Hungoraring. Psycho pulling to the inside to run up the line. It'll be, interesting. There's definite opportunities. I think in certain sectors of this track where people make a mistake, if you're, and it doesn't have to be much of a mistake, where you can get yourself up the inside. And one of those I would actually call it, the second last corner coming onto the main straight. Around that left-hander where people get in tight, if people get too much curb and they ride the wheel up and they just get a little bit loose in that back end, and you're right in behind them, you can get drive and go straight up the inside of them into that last turn. So just remember that ads for next week.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I will. Well, that's what happened to me in the hot lap. So
Yeah.
coming through turn 14 there, I've just gotten up onto the inside of the curbing, and basically what it's done is it's just grabbed the car and brought the back end around, because it unsettles the the inside right rear tyre, and you lose that track grip there. But yeah, look, it's like I said before, this is one of those tracks where you need to be concentrating 100% for 100% of the time. I don't know about you, mate, but I'm an old fella, and sometimes I'll be going through a race and then find myself with my mind wandering for whatever bloody reason. I've got no idea. It's not on purpose, I can tell you that much, but maybe it's just an age thing. But yeah, sometimes it does happen. It's quite frustrating, actually.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you, mate. You know, I don't know how many times I've sort of got to try to reset myself and get into a rhythm, as I'm sure these guys are. And you know, you might, depending on the circuit, you might get 4, 5, 6, 7 laps, you know, where you've just had this rhythm, and then all of a sudden you come unstuck, and then it takes you another number 2 or 3 or 4 laps to get back into that rhythm again. And yeah, I think that's one of the areas that well and truly, you know, can sort of, oh, Psycho's gone wide here. Made a bit of a mistake. Yep.
Massive amount of that curbing, and he's doing it there as well. You could not do that in any other car, honestly. That just, if you were in the Ferrari and did that, you'd be lights out, see you later. But yeah, just on the Bentley here, I've got to be honest and say, you know, this season I decided to step away from the Bentley, jumped into the Ferrari, and I miss it a lot, because it was a car that I knew, and it was a car that I knew that when I went into the pits, and I could make adjustments, and I knew that what was going to work, what wasn't going to work. But I'm not getting that with the Ferrari yet, unfortunately. Completely relying on other people's advice, and you know, going out and trying a few things. But here we go. This is, oh, I thought he was going to shoot up the inside then.
Here we go.
But what he's doing is, he's doing a really good job at making Psycho, I have no doubt, just looking in his rear vision mirror constantly, just wondering where Rain of Fire is, which is probably one of the reasons why he's taking as much curbing as what he's done in the last couple of laps. And he's definitely got straight line speed, that's for sure. That Bentley's a bit of a beast in a straight line, just doesn't have a great top end speed.
I think the Bentley, you know, is very much suited, you know, to the, well, I believe the tighter, less flowing tracks. You know, you get, you know, your bigger circuits, you know, like the one that will be coming up for the last round, Nürburgring.
Yep.
Fast, you know, the majority of it fast flowing. You know, same as Silverstone as an example. That's where some of these other cars come into their own, like the Ferrari as an example, or the Audi.
Yep.
You know, where you've got these short, sharp, you know, chicanes. You know, the Bentley over, you know, Ferrari or an Audi, they've got the punch out of the corner. It's very hard to, you know, to stick with them to try to even get a run, you know, down a straight.
Yeah, no, fully agree with what you're saying there too, mate. It's oh, these guys, they're just going wide. So that's Stoslin must be carrying some damage that's being lapped. He's just trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah, that's well done. He's out of the road.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he may have. No, I thought he may have taken his pit stop, but he hasn't.
He must have had another moment, because Simon's up in the P8. You talk about the Nürburgring for the next round. that last chicane before the last corner onto the pit straight. I remember when we did a race there. I think it was in season 5. Season 4. I was in the Porsche, and I'll tell you, that last chicane, when you get that right, especially in the Porsche, it's like a Brokeback Mountain moment. Just unbelievable. Just, the feeling that you have, that you get, with the car, and just experiencing that speed through there is phenomenal. But I look forward to that round, actually. It should be good to see how the Ferrari goes around there, actually.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that it was a Brokeback Mountain moment. I would have probably preferred it to have been a Debbie Dale's Dallas moment. But anyway.
He's showing your age there, mate.
Oh, absolutely I am. But you know what I'm talking about.
I do, unfortunately. Yeah, my old man used to own a video shop, and I remember when I used to work behind the counter there and get all the returns, and used to get the Electric Blue movies coming back, and I had to rewind them and have a quick flick through, and that's when chicks had hairy armpits. But
back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. But,
talking about cars and everything else, like, I'm not too sure. Is this Andretti's first season in the Ferrari?
I don't know. He could answer that question for us.
He may be able to answer it. But again, you can find too that people all of a sudden will gel with a specific car. Comes easier to them.
Yeah.
When they jump from a Bentley to a Ferrari, or a Ferrari to an Audi, or to a McLaren, or whatever it may be. So sometimes it takes a little while for people to to find their niche. And these cars are by no means the same to jump out of one into the other to drive them. They all like to be driven slightly differently.
Yep.
And Simon's into the pits.
He's into the pits.
His mandatory pit stop. His car doesn't look too bad. As you said, he's managed to keep it pretty clean. I can't see any damage on either side or the rear, so
I reckon he's had an off-track moment.
Yep.
But hopefully he can claw his way back up. But Incy, I did say Brokeback Mountain. So that's just definitely not like the. Anyway, we'll get away from that particular subject.
Yes.
I don't want to discriminate. I'm pretty finicky with cars too. Like, I love a car that has good V8 sound, and it's I'm a true blue Aussie with stuff like that. But you've got the Lexus, sounds awesome. The Jaguar sounds pretty good too. Bentley, AMG. What else is in there?
That pretty well covers, I think, the big V8 sounding cars. The others are, the Ferrari, the Audi, is to wind up that rubber band and let us rip.
Yeah, it's taken it a little bit to come to terms with the sound of the Ferrari, to be honest. So this is Andretti's third season in the Ferrari, so no wonder he's doing so bloody well.
Yeah, but again, it's taken him a little while, and he did the Audi the first two, and now the Ferrari. Well, he'll be up for a change for season 8, I'd be reckoning.
Well, we could put that as an agenda item in the captain's chat meeting.
No, mandatory.
Scheduled for the 18th.
If you've done any more than 2 seasons in the same car, it's time to change.
Yeah,
it sounds fair.
To be honest, I don't like that rule. I reckon that's a crap rule.
I think it does. I think it does after a while. It develops. It does develop. How you learn to drive, and you can even go back and maybe throw some things back. You ever go back to a car that you're familiar with and go, "Oh, I might try this style," and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But these two are still hard at it here at the front. Psycho has pulled out a little bit of a gap. Probably the largest that I've seen for a number of laps. And as I say that, he pulls back in again.
I think they've got their different strengths at different points of the track, but Yeah, sorry, Incy, the Aston sounds... The Aston sounds good too. The only issue that I've got with the Aston is the pop at the end of each gear change. Like, it sounds good at the start, but listening to that, with the amount of gear changes you do around the lap, and then you've got bloody 60 minutes of that, it gets a little bit of a... On personal, for me, it gets a bit annoying, but...
I like that what Incy's put down. There'd be no Bentleys if the 2-season rule was implemented.
Yeah, mate. Well, apparently with the... and guys, if anyone is watching, we're pretty keen to find out what the latest update is for Assetto Corsa Competizione, whether we get the version 1.8. So there's a little bit of a task for you guys out there. We've got a meeting coming up on the 18th with the captains and the vice captains. We'd really love to know where all that sits, but I believe with the updated new version, the Bentley is definitely what's the word that they use for it?
They've just evened out the BOP, I suppose, is maybe the
That's
easiest.
it. Yeah, the BOP's been probably rightly corrected. So
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out, and I believe that the Aston Martin is
He's
definitely one of the cars. That's one of the cars that I do want to do a season in.
Yeah.
1 or 2 seasons. I reckon it's a pretty cool car, but I like the Lexus too, but I just don't like that it's got limited liveries. That's the only thing that bugs me about that particular car. It'd be cool if we could do customised liveries like they do in PC.
Pressed the wrong button there, sorry viewers. Nearly went into a foot in a moment. Back to the PC.
Yeah, well, let's do a bit of a race cap. Where are we? We're nearly halfway through.
Yep.
So we've got Psycho doing a absolutely brilliant job in P1. Started there in P3. Took it by the horns and basically shot it up the inside there of Rain of Fire at turn 1 on lap 1, and has held that position, so that's an awesome effort from him so far. Rain of Fire's in behind Psycho, and then we've got Kraken for Team GRT, and Familiar, who I believe is a privateer, and Azora in the M6, BMW doing a stellar job there in position 5. Sermi Squid in the Audi in P6. We've got Sparky God in the Bentley in P7, and then we've got Simon in the AMG, who's the first of the pit stoppers in P8. Started in P2, I think. Yep. Unfortunately, it's had a bit of an on-track incident that put him a fair way back, but and then you've got Team Little Bear. Stolzen still needs to do his stop, but I reckon he's driving around with a very damaged car. Then you've got Christoph, and then Scotty Pye, who took lap 1 damage as well from an incident. And I'd like to see the transcript of how that conversation goes from whatever happened in lap 1 and who was involved. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if any protests come through as a result of that.
Just looking at
Stoz's just
all
over the place.
Stoz's car, it looks pretty straight to me.
Yeah, maybe something's gone wrong in car setup. I'm not sure.
We could, tyres overheating. Yeah,
it could be that.
20 foot
What's
track
the track temperature?
Yeah, track's 32, but ambient's only 24, so it's not. It's sort of, it's nearly right around that hot lap, sort of temperature, optimum track. So
yeah, it's a strange one how all this plays out. I know that, and I'm not saying this is what's happened with Stoz, but you get a lot of these guys where they troll, YouTube for setups, and they find, these setups where guys have done mega quick times, but it's set up for a hot lap. It's not set up for a race. race setup, but you know, sometimes what can happen is that the car just, whilst it's quick for a couple of laps, it's not like a genuine quick car for a race setup. Because I can just see right now with Stoz, his rear end is oversteering on corner entry, so that's on with throttle off. So that's an aero balance issue that he's got there as well. So maybe he's, well, who knows? He could have put a wrong setup in, or he could have made some last-minute adjustments, which is I'm a victim of. But his car just definitely does not look settled at all, unfortunately.
No. Back to the where are we looking at here? Again, solid effort from Zero in the BMW. Team Little Bear could climb his way up a little bit. Just looking at.
Let's have a look at Team Little Bear.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I did mention his livery before at the when the qualifying and the race. I mean that Honda looks like it's stuck to the tarmac. Like it just looks solid. And we know that it's a quick car in a straight line. That's why when you see it at Bathurst, it performs so well. But it's these tighter tracks. The trick to this car is you've got to keep the revs up, and you need to keep momentum going throughout the track as well. So, but it's a nice little looking package there that Team Little Bear's got. It's got the nice flecks of purple in the chromed yellow for Team P&L. A quick shout out to the teams as well, so, and our sponsors, but Pagny and Next Level Racing, we've got Gamesman Racing, Strawberry Acoustic Racing, and we've also got Stu has been very busy in the background with organising RaceOnOz apparel. Hopefully you guys have seen the link for the apparel, and I think like most people I've ordered a hoodie. So it's the black hoodie with the RaceOnOz symbols on there, which looks really good. I believe it's about $90 or $95 delivered. So pretty keen to get hold of that. I can tell you one thing I won't be doing is wearing it while I'm racing, that's for sure, because it'll just be too damn hot. But yeah, so there's really good stuff going on at the moment with RaceOnOz, and you know, PC, Assetto Corsa Competizione PC, those guys have, I believe they're in round 9 of their season. They just raced at Nürburgring on Monday night. So I believe that there's going to be some big changes with that league as well, with regards to things like teams and whatnot. Don't know anything about that, so it certainly would be good for those guys to go down that path. And if we use the model that we've got in console with teams and vice captains, and I think K-Man, it works pretty well with the structure and the input that we get and the control that we have over, when I say control, I mean, you know, the organisation over the teams and the individuals in those teams, and any new members coming into the teams where we can provide support and, you know, give really good guidance around Discord usage and the game, for instance. You know, we've had those guys come over from Project Cast 2. We've been able to give them a fair bit of support as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, the model we've got is pretty damn good.
Just jumping in there, Psycho. So Rain of Fire is already pitted, and Psycho is in the pits now. So this is the opportunity for Rain of Fire to possibly jump him. We'll wait and see.
Yeah,
I think that somebody mentioned it up earlier in the chat. I can't remember who, but it was that was probably his only opportunity to pass him.
Well, that could be the case. It just depends on.
Yep.
Depends on Psycho's pit entry.
Yep.
entry into the box. So where is he? Still in the pits?
Yeah, still in the pits.
Yep.
And,
So
and
Rain
we've
of
got
Fire's
Rain of
coming on
Fire coming on. We got Psycho's
pit
into
straight now. He's just dropped off his jack stands.
Yep.
I reckon he's got it covered.
And he has. Great job.
He has.
Cold tyres, though. Here we go, cold tyres. He's got to be very careful here.
Hopefully, Rain of Fire can at least catch up to him a little bit.
A little bit of understeer into turn 2.
Psycho's gone wide a little bit. He's caught a little bit of that curb. Well, Rain of Fire's definitely closed in on him. It won't take long for the tyres to get up to temperature. Oh, he's just tiptoeing around there. This is it. So literally through this chicane, Rain of Fire wants to be right on his back bumper bar.
There's the, you can see there's the pull of the Bentley out of the corners.
Yeah,
It's just
but
that,
gone very shallow on this corner entry. Well, he's kept it, so he's doing a stellar job so far.
Great job.
And that's where Rain of Fire could have capitalised into this turn here if he had have just kept on his rear bumper bar. He's still there. He's going to take an inside line here, I reckon.
Ooh.
And Psycho's
Yeah,
covered.
He's
gone wide. Sorry, K-Man.
You're right. He's still got the inside line.
Oh, near track limits. This is going to be a drag race down the pit straight here. Psycho's got a little bit fishtaily. There it is. He'll be spewing that happened. Now look at the Bentley just closed back in again.
Yeah.
Under brakes? Nah.
Probably just not quite the tyre temp in the tyres. Probably a little bit too deep under brakes and couldn't pull it up into that second last turn and opened up the door for Rain of Fire. Now we just have to keep an eye on it to see whether, you know, Rain of Fire pulls away or Psycho can stay with him.
Well, Psycho, like you said before, he just needs to get back into the rhythm. I think his opportunity is going to be down pit straight where he'll be able to have a bit of a drag race.
Oh, oh, here we go.
There it is. Here it goes.
Mistake. Oh,
Jeepers.
He thought about it, but that's smart driving.
It is, and I like that he's just pulled out of that. It's a sign of good good in-car control. Big picture is that we've still got 25 minutes to go, and he's still going to have opportunities. So Rain of Fire will definitely feel the pressure. He's taking a late apex there. We'll just give him a nice drive out. We can clearly see the gap that's formed. So Psycho just needs to, just get back in there. Oh man, look at that thing. Just, it's not closing in hardcore, but you can just see that it's got that driveline speed down the pit straight over the Ferrari. So that's obviously something that we need to think about next week too, mate. So I don't know about you, but I'm running a rear wing of 14.
I've either got 14 or 13. I can't quite remember, but it's not going to make a difference.
Yep.
You know.
Well, when you're going backwards at weights, that's
no,
sure.
That's true.
Yep.
Very true.
Familiar. So Andrelli's just said that it's one of his best races for a while, so that's good to see.
Yeah, true.
These guys are certainly putting on a show, and apologies to the rest of the guys down there. So, Cameron, what do you mean more wing? What are we talking about there, buddy? Because 14 is as high as I can go on the Ferrari. Yeah, I like this on board that you've got K-Man with Psycho. This is really good. Just to be able to see the closing speed of the Bentley down the pitch straight.
Yeah, we can have a little bit of the old turn it up. Turn this the hell up, boys, and have a listen.
That's it.
There we go. On-board lap with Psycho. Obviously, unfortunately, went a little bit too deep into that chicane there and lost a stack of time, but still gained some of it back in that last portion of the lap. And here he is, up again. So this is not finished.
No, it's not finished. I love that little turn the hell up symbol you got there, mate. That's new. I have never seen that before, so great work. Is that your idea?
Yes, mate.
You own it anyway, but...
Yeah, exactly. I stole it from somewhere, but hey, it doesn't matter.
No, that's awesome, mate. Well done. It's I reckon Psycho's he needs to just take a breather and just, he's in the belly. Yeah, he's just missed that first little apex, the corner apex at the chicane. He's not far left, he's right the curbs. You can see Rain of Fire there in the foreground there, and unfortunately we don't get to see the track limits that these guys have that they've accumulated, and to be honest, we did call that there would be some drive-throughs and we haven't seen any yet, so that's really good work from these guys. But all he needs to do is get back up onto the back of Rain of Fire and just put a little bit of pressure there, just so that he unsettles him a little bit and has him thinking twice about what needs to happen.
Far off. There you go. He's the fastest lap of the race. Right then. 45.5. What have we got here for a Rain of Fire? Let's just have a look. Oh, you're kidding me. Am I seeing that right?
You're looking at the time.
Rain of Fire's lap, 1:45.597. And have a look at this. 594. 3 1,000ths of a second.
And he has caught back up again.
Yep.
And this is exactly what he needs to do. Just, I know the Bentley is horrid in behind another car. The aero wash just needs to stick with him here and just go through that last 3 complex corners and just get that the drive onto the pitch straight.
Just keep applying the pressure. That's what he needs to do.
Yep. Not sure, Cameron. We unfortunately Simon qualified second, which was good. That wasn't the unfortunate part. The unfortunate part was that we think that there was a lap 1 incident that involved Scotty Pye and Stozza and Simon, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but yeah, a bit of a disastrous moment for those guys, because Stozza and Simon were definitely up in the top 4 at the start of the race, which is really unfortunate. But and I know I didn't get your meme before, mate. That's all good, but I'm all over it now. So thank you. So Familiar's up in the P4, so really good effort from him. He's still flying the old...
None of the old team colours.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that? That was... blah, 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 I can't remember now. Oh, what was that team called? ICR.
Yep.
Ignition Controls, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, still flying the old orange colours there, which is good for him. Up in P4. So we've got someone that's dropped out. Who have we lost? Stozza.
Stozza has gone.
Yeah, so it sounds like he probably wasn't enjoying his 60 minutes of racing. I'll probably listen to that tomorrow and find out what happened with Stoz.
Don't know whether you can see from your ads, but you maybe keep a bit of an eye if you can on Psycho and Rain of Fires. Obviously, Simon's closing in on Azura. Well, I've done that again.
No, I don't have the other setup.
Oh, okay.
Mate.
Right, no, we're all good.
Stream.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. No, Simon's. Can I just say, and again, not because I'm the captain of Team BHR, but that AMG in that green livery with the black stripes looks absolutely mint.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is just a sexy looking car. Now, I definitely, if I was going to get one, I'd have one painted like that sitting in my garage for sure.
Wrap it, mate. Wrap it and you can change the colours often.
Oh, yeah. I'd have to get the wife to take the keys off me though, because I know when Bathurst comes around, I wouldn't bloody be able to help myself, and I'd be out there chucking laps. But here we go. So Andrelli's given us an update on PS5. So Kaware's in P1, Slambo, Vic, Jamie and Baradog. That's a really good effort. So Kaware is in the Porsche. And can I just say that Kaware driving that thing around, I've watched him over the last few rounds and doing an absolutely stellar job. I did 2 seasons in the Porsche, and it was 2 of my hardest seasons that I've ever had. The Porsche is crazy fast. It's got a terrible top end speed. It's amazing under brakes. And one of the biggest downfalls with the Porsche is that the fuel tank is at the front of the car, and when it actually is quicker with a full tank than it is with an empty tank. But with a full tank, the front end drops down. You'll set your aero balance, and then when the fuel goes off, the aero balance changes as a result of fuel drop. So it's a very, very difficult car to set up for tracks, but when you nail it, I remember season 5 at Laguna Seca and Alton Park, I reckon I put that Porsche up in a P3 in the Pro Series on both of those occasions, and I can tell you that I drove the legs off that thing. Yeah, but in the race it was a different story because of the changes to the aero balance. Definitely makes it very difficult. So I've just got a message here from Stozza that he disconnected from the server. Unfortunately, that sucks for him, but it's obviously an internet issue. So glad that that's all it was, and it wasn't where Stozza's pulled the pin. So that's really good.
Sir McSquid, mate. We haven't given Sir McSquid, a lot of kudos tonight, running around there in P9 in the Audi. Again, not necessarily one of the easiest cars to manhandle. And
It's not.
he's doing, quite a good job. And, you're talking about, we just did a lap before, listening to the super sounds of the Bentley.
Yep.
Maybe we have a listen to the Audi and hear it ring its, rubber bands.
Go for it.
Righto, let's turn it up. Well, there we go. That was a flying lap on board with Sir McSquid. I don't know about you, Ads, but he seems pretty relaxed.
Oh, look, Sir McSquid is a bloody good driver, mate. He unfortunately started the season off where work commitments have taken him out completely for the first 3 rounds. And I know that I hear it in his when he writes messages in Discord there. Definitely wears his heart on his sleeve, and just wants to be out there. But again, unfortunately, it's a circumstance outside of his control where he has to work. But I've loved that he's been able to get in there tonight and have a crack. And at the end of the day, it's not about, I don't care about points and from a team perspective or an individual points, but I prefer that when he's got the time to be able to race, that he can actually get in there and have a crack and have a go. Because these guys, even though they've got work commitments and whatnot, they still turn up when they can. They give their all, and that's definitely what Sir McSquid has done. So as a team captain of BHR, I thank him very, very much for that commitment, and he's always been very forthcoming with his arrangements and fully understand the circumstances, which is fine by me. This is a good outlet for us guys to be able to do this stuff, and I'm just glad that he's having the opportunity to be able to do that tonight.
Absolutely, totally agree, mate. Now what do we got? Well, this battle still continues, and we're down under 10 minutes left in the race. Between Rain of Fire and Psycho.
This is coming down to the wire between these two guys. Hopefully, I really want Psycho to get a little bit closer and to put some pressure on Rain of Fire. I think it would be good for the viewers. I think it would be awesome for both of these guys to experience, good competitive racing.
Right now, here's two guys that could easily
step up in a tier 1 into the Pro Series, without a doubt. Just got a little page coming up on the screen, mate, with your files.
You get rid of that, because that shouldn't be there. God bless me.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Lucky the good wife's not at home. She'll give you a bit of a tune-up.
Yeah, that's. Oh, it's done it again.
There it is again.
Get it out.
Yep.
Goodness me.
Oh, Psycho's just gotten a little bit loose coming out of that chicane. I reckon he's on and off on the TC button there. He's probably got a few settings where he's, certain corners he's got the traction control set at different settings. That's good for, this stream too came in. We know that RaceOnOz is one of the biggest leagues in Australia and New Zealand and Tassie, and we do get quite a few people watching, but something that, this is unannounced obviously, but something that I wouldn't mind starting to think about is, something that we're all learning about through our workplace, is the acknowledgement of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as the traditional custodians of the land we work and live on. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and I think that that's a really important message, even through RaceOnOz, with the amount of people that we have as members. It's something that's very close to my heart with this stuff as well, and I think it's important that we certainly recognise that even through this forum.
I totally agree, mate. Absolutely agree.
So Psycho is definitely pressuring, but he's just not in a position where he can attack. And to be honest, Rain of Fire is not making any mistakes whatsoever. This is a really good effort and a really good drive by him. Seriously, Team GRT need to be commended for their massive improvement this season. It's interesting because last season it was P&L that looked exactly the same as the way the GRT are performing this season. I remember every time that I used to jump on the server, for whatever reason, there was always P&L guys on there practicing, and it just shows, when they put that time and effort in, it goes to on-track performance. So Scotty Pye lets those guys go by.
He'll be disappointed tonight, Scotty, I would think. Whatever may have occurred on that lap one, he'll be pretty disappointed. I think he was sort of sitting there equal fourth in the individual championship, so it'll take a bit of a hit after this round with one more to go.
Yeah, well, that's something that we don't have in our system, is the drop round, do we? So that might be food for thought too, going forwards, considering that not just for when you're involved in an incident, but when a work commitment or a family commitment comes up, that you can't make the race. So
yeah,
I'll put that
worth thinking about, I think, mate.
Yeah, I'll add that to the agenda item list, mate.
Beautiful.
But Simon's in the 2020 AMG. Again, just so unfortunate. Qualified second. He's fought his way all the way back up to P6. I did have him pegged for a win, but unfortunately, lap one incident, which it looks like has probably occurred, has held him back. But geez, he looks damn good. We've got 4 minutes to go. And he's closed right in on Azura. And if he makes a pass here to get top 5 from where he was, will be an absolutely awesome effort by Simon. But this, where are we? We've got Psycho's 1 second, off of Rain of Fire. Kraken's all the way back. But yeah, no, this is a good comeback by Simon, so well done to him. Kudos for his efforts.
Yeah, again, another, misfortune on lap 1, but another solid drive from Simon.
Yep. No, he's definitely a good Team BHR team member, that's for sure. He's the sort of driver you want to have in your team because you know that you're going to get a good outcome from him week in, week out. I mean, I just look at these lines there. I mean, you know, the BMW's going way outside the white line. He's inside the white line with all 4 tyres. We've got an opportunity here for a couple of laps.
Just watching that gap.
Wide, yep.
That gap's still sitting at 1 second between Rain of Fire and Psycho, so not too much of a change there at the minute.
No, there's not. We've where's Team Little Bear?
P8.
He's in 8th position.
Yep.
That's a really good effort by him.
Yep.
In the Honda. So he's got Sermic Squid nearly 3 seconds behind him, so he's got a bit of breathing space. Christo's down in P10. And we know Scotty Pye's down in P11. That's after his first lap incident. Had to repair his car. And we have not seen any drive-throughs for the whole entire race. So maybe they might all come next week.
2 minutes to go. Let's not go down that road. Hey, let's not even start thinking about that. Just have it here following Christoph around. Bentley's got a few battle scars on it, but he's carrying on, which is great to see. He was actually from my memory, correct me if I'm wrong, he was, I think, our round 1 winner. Christoph was?
He was, yes. Yep. Have you got Aaron racing in PS5?
Yes, I did have.
Yeah, he's up into 6th position.
Yeah, and he didn't even qualify. God bless him.
Oh, there you go. What an effort.
Yeah, well, just goes to show, get your bloody internet fixed, mate, and you won't have this issue. Great solid result. Thanks, Drilling.
What's the issues there with him? What's it?
It's his provider.
Hardware or?
No. Well, provider. But anyway,
okay.
55 seconds left to go. Let's get back to this quick because we're back 3/10. It's on.
Oh, yep. Yep, so there's definitely going to be one more lap as Psycho's gone too deep into that corner. So he's basically stalled it halfway through that corner, actually.
Yeah, to stop it.
Yep. He's gotten up on the inside of that curb too, so that unsettles the car. But Rain of Fire with his oscillating front end has so far pulled it off. Started in P1, got taken on the first corner of lap 1. He stuck to his guns. He's kept a really good, kept his head. He's kept good lines. He's continuing to keep good lines. And he's pushed off the pressure from Psycho. And if he holds this lap together, it will be a race win for Rain of Fire. Oh, this is... I don't think that Psycho's going to get him, mate. But this is a really good drive from Rain of Fire, so well done to him.
Absolutely. Just held his cool. Look, both of them, a brilliant drive.
He's gone on the grass. I reckon he would have had a puckering up moment then for a split second. Well, this gives me a little bit of confidence knowing that the Ferrari's going to finish in position 1 this round, so hopefully.
A lot to live up to. That's unnecessary
we've got
pressure.
D'Antrelli. Who we got? There's me, you, Andrelli. Who else is in a Ferrari? I think that's about it, isn't
There's
it?
not too many. There's not too many.
Hmm.
Coming into the last corner. Again, what a solid effort from Rain of Fire. Great drive. And Psycho too. No two ways about it.
Well done to both of those guys. I'm
Well
sure
done.
that they won't be disappointed. And who we got in third position there? We've got Kraken.
Kraken coming through. Again, another good drive from Kraken.
Yep, so some good team points there by
for GRT.
for Team GRT, yep. We've got Familiar, so it's a really good drive by Familiar. It's coming around turn 13 into turn 14. And Azuro, so he's got
Azuro. He's
Simon's
held on
still
to
up
Biff.
his clacker.
Great
Yep.
drive. Great drive. Azuro.
Especially
Simon,
in the BMW. Well
Yep.
done, mate. Well done, Simon.
Great recovery.
There's Sparky. Yep.
That's again another good recovery from his. I don't know. Love tap. Turned the car off. Whatever it was he had to do there at the early stages of the race. Into P7.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yep.
That's a good comeback from him.
Team
Little Bear and the Honda
I think
NSX.
nearly one of the best presented cars, I would say. From Team Little Bear. I've said it
Yeah.
before.
Nah, it does look pretty cool. I
Yep.
love it. I wouldn't drive it, but I love it.
And Cermic Squid.
Yep. Well done, Subic Squid. P9, Christoph in P10, Scotty Pye P11 is Tozza, who unfortunately had a internet malfunction and disconnected from the race. Finished in P12. So, good effort by all those guys. And, well, cool. K-Man?
Yeah, thanks, mate. You too. Glad to have you back. Again, look, as these guys have shown since race one, they have been putting on some stellar races, and to be honest, leading by example.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Great to see. I look forward to the Enduro, mate, the hour and a half race in a fortnight's time.
Yeah,
at Nürburgring. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
thought it was an hour and a half.
Yep.
Oh, that's an hour and a half. 90 minutes of going through that last chicane. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Well and truly.
Yeah.
Just flat through the last chicane, mate.
I better only have 1 or 2 beers before the start of the race.
Well, look, again,
stop.
I think, congratulations to the winners, the podium, Rain of Fire, Psycho and Kraken. Well done to everybody. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Again, thanks so much, Ads, for joining me. Couldn't do it without you. And everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. Good luck for those racing next week.
Yep, definitely good luck to those racing next week. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you having me on board, and thank you to the people that have participated through the top chat. Really appreciated your input, and thanks, Andrelli, for updating us on what's happening in PS5. Thanks, Incy and Cameron. Definitely looking forward to next week, and let's go racing.
And as a famous commentator used to say, by the name of Adman, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Have a cracking week.
You too. Thanks,
Cheers.
mate. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.